Hi you guys, I hope that you are all doing well. I know I've mentioned this a few times, but my sister is getting married this week, and so I thought I would share with you guys a wedding look. This could be if you were in the wedding party, if you're a bride, if you're just a guest. I feel like it's just one of those like very classic neutral looks. And for me and like my personal style, whenever I'm like in a wedding party, I try and err on the side of like more classic or like nothing too crazy, unless that's like the theme of the wedding. It's whatever the bride wants you to wear. But yeah, I try and err on the side of more classic. Tends to be the kind of makeup I like anyway. I thought since, gosh, it has been a while since I've been to an event, that it would be fun to do this. I'm filming a little bit earlier in the morning, so I have these like dapples of light that hopefully aren't going to be too distracting, but they will come and go as I'm doing the makeup. I did blow dry my hair, which I rarely, if ever, do, but I am just going to actually braid it in loose braids. I'm not like the world's best hair person, so what I do is I blow dry it as well as I can, and then I just kind of, while I'm getting ready, I put it into braids. I don't like secure the ends or anything, but it just adds like a nice natural wave back into my hair, and that way the hair is like out of my face. And if it is still a little bit damp, which I can feel that it is, this will just help to kind of shape it and keep it from getting like frizzy. Quick prep step is just to curl your eyelashes. I need a mirror that's a little bit closer to do this. So yeah, it's crazy. It's been so many months of planning for this wedding. I mean, obviously I haven't been doing it, but my sister's been doing it and I've been kind of helping. And now it's actually here, which is really exciting. I'm going to use a mix of base products, and on event days, I always feel like going with what works for you is the most important. So pick like your favorite foundation, the one that makes you feel the best, and go with that. I'm picking two. I'm going to start by going in with this Westman Atelier foundation, which is a little bit higher coverage than the other one I'm going to use. And I'm just going to go over any blemishes and just kind of like tap it on, leave it like this, let it set a little bit, and then I'll go back in and kind of blend it out. But I'm going over like particularly red areas, anything that like a general light layer foundation won't cover. And then because I've finally washed my brushes, if you guys watched last week's video, I'm going to go in with this little dome shaped brush and just kind of softly buff out the edges. Then I'm going to go in with like my all over foundation, and for that I'm going to be using the Kjaer Weis liquid foundation. I just love this foundation. It's definitely one of my favorites. And then just go in with my fingers because I like to apply it that way, and start from the center and work my way out. Really like making sure to work it into my skin. I actually think we are getting our makeup done the morning of the wedding, so I won't even have to worry about this, which is nice. This is probably the look that I'm going to do for like the rehearsal dinner, and we have a couple other events. Mostly that I don't need to be this made up for, but definitely the rehearsal dinner I'm going to be wearing something very similar to this. I'm just going to take that brush I used before and just really like buff in areas that will crease. I'm going to use a light reflective concealer, and I'm just going to use it at the inner corners in like my darkest area. Tiny bit on the bridge of my nose. Not going to do anything on my forehead. I am going to put a little at the like outer corners of my mouth. Tap that in with my fingers. Hi.
Is she coming?
Yeah.
And now you're home.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome home. Probably done in like an hour or so. I'm just going to brush any like product out of my brows, and then I want to do a little bit of face shaping before we move on. I'm going to be using this product from Westman Atelier. This is their face contour stick in Biscuit. I'm mainly going to focus on like shaping my jawline a little bit. So I'm putting a little bit under there, a little bit over here, and then we'll blend it all out so we don't look like we have a beard. And I just kind of blend it down with my fingers. And again, I start very softly, always blending down so that you get shadow. As soon as you start blending up, then you get that 5 o'clock shadow, which you don't want. I'm going to put a little bit back by the top of my cheekbone. I'm just kind of feeling for it. And I'm just making sure not to bring it too far down. And again, using my finger to kind of blend that in. And then moving on to the eyes. So I'm going to use a Tinted Brow Gel. I have pretty full brows right now, but I always feel like brows are the one thing in photos that kind of disappears. So I'm going to go a little heavier than usual and really use like the end of this brow gel to build up the sparse areas. I don't have a brow pencil right now. If I did, I would use that and then a brow gel over top of it, but instead I'm just going to use the brow gel and that'll work just fine. I'm using a new eyeshadow palette, but really like any neutral palette will be nice. I'm going to take a little bit of that face trace in Biscuit it and I'm just gonna place it on my lid and kind of like up towards my crease to set my eyes back already, and then we'll layer powder over top of it using a warm brown shade to kind of go all over my lid, a deeper chocolate shade to go into my outer corner. This is like your very standard neutral brown smoky eye. And I really think for anyone who's intimidated with eyeshadow, I think the longer you blend it, the better it looks. So if you're not happy with the way it looks, just keep blending. And by, you know, like removing a little product, by really working it into your skin, I don't know, I think that makes pretty much every eyeshadow very forgiving. And this is for kind of like a winter wedding, so I guess like late fall, early winter wedding. So I think it's okay to go a little bit deeper with the shadows, but you still want your eyes to pop. So I feel like it's really important to add back in a light neutral shade so that your eyes don't look too like heavy or deep set. There's a pretty pink kind of shimmery shade in here, starting at the inner corner and then blending onto my lid. I am going to get another mirror. And if you want a really natural look, tight lining is always the best thing to do, but that is so uncomfortable for me, so I'm not going to do that. I just sharpened my eyeliner pencil and I'm just gonna like really push it into my lashes, not worrying too much about how it's looking, just trying to build up some depth, especially towards the outer corner. And grab brush and go back over it. I'm taking what's left on the brush and going underneath my bottom lash line and just making sure it connects with whatever kind of like wing or shape I have on the upper lash line. And I'll grab mascara. Probably should go waterproof, but I'm gonna use the one that I have open right now. If I get some on my lid, it's not a huge deal, but I'm gonna try my hardest not to. And I'm gonna go all the way to the inner corner and all the way to the outer corner and probably brush these out a little so it's not quite so spidery. I just don't think that this is my mascara. Brushing out any of those clumps. Just going back in and kind of blending everything together again in case anything was like moved or touched when I was doing my liner and mascara. And then it's time to add some color back into our face. Just gonna put my hair back in a bun so I can see kind of like my face structure a little bit better. I have so many favorite blushes, but I am gonna go for classic Westman Atelier in Petal. And the trick of smiling really does work. So smile, place it where you want it. I like to place my blush a little bit higher. I feel like it kind of like lifts, but totally up to you. A little on the bridge of my nose. Bit of highlight. One of my favorites that I just got restocked from ILIA Beauty. This is the Vapour highlighter in Moonlight. Super natural, really beautiful highlighter. And then much needed lip liner. And whatever lip color is comfortable and you can easily reapply throughout the day. I like to kind of tap it in. I feel like with all the like talking and smiling and drinking and everything that you're doing, my lips do tend to get dry, so I wanted to pick a color that I felt like adds some like hydration. You can even do a really nice tinted chapstick throughout the day. And then obviously if you need to, powder. I'm not gonna powder because my skin is actually kind of dry at the moment. One final step that I also like to do because I'm wearing a slightly heavier complexion is just to take a brown eyeliner or powder or something and go back over any like moles or freckles that I have. One, it's fun to have them show up in photos, and two, I just feel like it makes your skin look a little bit more natural. Okay, so that is my wedding guest, bride, maid of honor, wedding party, bridesmaid makeup. Again, super fresh. It will last well throughout the day because we did a good mix of like creams and powders, easy to touch up. And yeah, just kind of like a classic fresh face where you feel glamorous, but it's like you, but an enhanced version of you, which is always the look that I tend to go for really big events. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you are having a wonderful week. I have a super exciting video coming for you guys next week, so stay tuned for that and make sure to turn on notifications because it might go up on a day that's not my usual day. Turn on notifications, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you all very soon. Bye!